ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्री बेराम जी, डॉक्टर सत्यलक्ष्मी जी and dear young friends, I am very happy to be here on 7th Natural Day celebration. In naturopathy, 7th year it is celebrating from 18 November. From 18 November, it is continuing. So it is a wonderful opportunity for all of you, because nature is our mother and there is power in nature to cure human being by itself, because our body also is made of nature, what we say Pancha Mahabhuta. So therefore it has its own system to cure the body. But when we try to go away from the nature, we invite all sorts of problems. You may be knowing in India there was a system, it's called Brahmacharya Ashrama. That time students used to go to Guru's ashrama, they used to live in forest and they are living there with nature, eating fruits and all these things, natural foods, and leading a very simple life. So they were very healthy. First 25 years they had to learn everything, living with Guru along with nature. You see, if we live with nature, automatically we develop power of resistance. No disease can come to us. Even Swami Vivekananda during his wandering days, 4 years he was wandering in India. Before that he lived in Himalayas for many years. So these our great people those days, yogis and sages, they used to stay with nature and therefore they could realize highest truth. Because food also is a very important part in our life. That's why Chandogya Upanishad says, Ahara Shuddho Sattva Shuddhi, Sattva Shuddho Dhruva Smriti. If our food is pure, our mind will be pure. And if your mind is pure, then you can realize your real nature, you can get the memory of your real nature. This means it is very conducive to our spiritual life. Therefore, in our Indian system, we have naturopathy and yoga, and all our great people, they again and again taught us same thing, but somehow we could not practice. Otherwise, if you live with nature, you don't need air conditioned hall, because nature can provide you air conditions. Because we are not able to go and stay outside, we have invited all these troubles. Rather, we have invented such comforts. And if we lead more and more comfortable life, the more problems only we will invite. So therefore, naturopathy and yoga, it is very essential for today's age. When we find there is no discipline, all sorts of foods, and there is, all these chemicals are mixed with them, and eating such food we cannot remain healthy. Therefore we have to be very careful. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Yukta ahara viharasya, Yukta chestasya swapnasu. युक्त आहार विहारस्य युक्त चेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्त स्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः. So this yoga can remove all your sufferings. But what Lord says, everything should be moderate in life. Ahar, vihar, karma, everything, sleeping, waking up. If everything is moderate, then you can remove all diseases from your body, you can remove all sufferings, and you can lead a very good life. But nowadays, because of this modern culture, we are slowly deviating from our old ideals. Even Mahatma Gandhi, Vinoba Bhave, all those great people, even many yogis, you had Patanjali Yoga. So that is for mind. So we have food for body, food for mind, food for soul. Everything is available in our scriptures. But because we neglected them, today we find we are in a very difficult situation. Our young people are falling prey to all sorts of addictions, and ultimately they are spoiling their health. So here even eating also, when there is no control, and if we go on eating anything and everything out of greed, as we give more attention to taste, we don't think of our health. So because of this no control of the tongue, we keep on eating, and ultimately many people, so when they become overweight, then they come to naturopathy. They think now we have to reduce our weight, so let us go to naturopathy, stay there for 1 month, and again whole year they can do whatever they want. There are many people, I was also in Urli Kanchan, there are many people every year they will come for 1 month. They say this is servicing our machine. Then whole year we don't practice anything. We go on behaving as we like. But then every year, once in a month we go, so that 1 year we don't have to worry. So there are such people, when they invite trouble, then they go to naturopathy. But from very beginning, if we practice these certain good habits, why we should invite all sorts of sufferings and problems? So that way it has to be encouraged. It should reach to each and every person, and particularly younger generation. Swami Vivekananda said, my hope lies in the younger generation, the modern generation. Out of them will come my workers. They will solve the problems of India like a lions. So इस युवा में से ही मेरे कार्यकर्ता आएंगे और वो भारत के सामने जो भी समस्या है उसको दूर करेंगे. And Swamiji has given us a message that we have to work for others. Now if we are not healthy, if we cannot keep our body and mind fit, then how can we help others? Always we will be busy only with our body and our mind. Healthy mind in healthy body. So therefore first we have to keep ourselves fit. Again Swamiji says your country needs this tremendous sacrifice. It is the young men who will do it. The young, the energetic, the well-built, the intellectual, the strong, for them is the task. So Swamiji wanted youth, but he told what type of youth? Young, energetic, well-built, intellectual and strong. So these are the qualities Swami Vivekananda expected from our younger generation. So we have to keep ourselves fit, and first dimension is body. Sharira madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. If our body is healthy, then our mind will be healthy, and with that healthy mind and healthy body, we will be able to develop our spiritual life. Today we know our mind is full of dirty thoughts. We call them enemies. We call them Shadripuj. Anger, hatred, jealousy, we say Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Moha, Matsar. So these are all harmful, dangerous enemies. They are all sitting in our mind. So when we practice yoga, meditation, naturopathy, somehow we can make our mind pure. If our mind is dull, then all the time we will be lazy and only sleeping. Pramada, Alasya, Nidra. when our mind is dull because we don't care for food. Simply go on eating, and if you overeat, naturally you will feel sleepy, you will get drowsy, you will become lazy. And when you eat very rajasic food, very oily fried food, then mind becomes restless. And when mind is restless, then also you cannot achieve anything. Because your mind should be concentrated. Unless your mind is one pointed, we cannot focus on anything. Anything great you want to achieve in your life, the only instrument is our mind. Swami Vivekananda became great because his mind was wonderful. Within such a short time he could master many things. So in short time you can learn many things when your mind is focused, when your mind is concentrated. Swami Vivekananda said, to me the very essence of education is concentration of mind and not the collecting of facts. We go on collecting information, but that is not education. We must learn to focus our mind on anything, whatever we do. When you study, focus your mind on study. When you work, focus your mind on work. Then your quality of work also will improve. So therefore, we have to learn this, how to develop concentration. For that we have yoga. Patanjali has given beautiful yoga. Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. Now when you practice Yama and Niyam, that means leading a moral life, leading a pure life. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Shaucha, Santosha, Tapa, Swadhyaya, Ishvara, Pranidhanani. These are Yama and Niyam. This is the foundation. If you want to develop spiritually, here you have to develop purity, and that is foundation is Yam and Niyam. Without practicing Yam and Niyam, we cannot go directly to the dhyana and meditation and samadhi. So here we have to make our mind absolutely quiet. Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. Patanjali says we have to control mental modifications. It is called Vritti, means thoughts. Our mind is so restless. First we have to make it one pointed, and then we have to go beyond that also. So there is a system, there is a method, and that method Patanjali has given to us, Ashtanga Yoga. So yoga and naturopathy certainly will help you physically, mentally, spiritually. And whatever is bad for us, Swamiji says, anything that makes you weak, physically, mentally, intellectually and spiritually, reject like a poison. So we should have discrimination in our intellect. Those days in ashramas, brahmachari used to get diksha, and they used to get Gayatri mantra. Gayatri mantra was discovered by Vishwamitra. That is mantra for brahmacharis at the age of 7. Even now also we have that system. Sandhya and Munja, Sandhya and Gayatri. In that Gayatri mantra, Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Oh Lord, make my buddhi sharp, awaken my intellect. You say our mind is restless, but our intellect can control our mind. But our intellect should be wonderful. It should have power of discrimination. Now when we live in this world, there is good and bad. Now we should have that power to take only whatever is good and reject whatever is bad. In this world there are many harmful things, there are many bad things. But then when we don't know, we go on accepting anything and everything, and ultimately we make our mind dustbin. So here like a hamsa, swan only will take milk. If you keep milk and water mixed, he can take only milk, rejecting water. Like that we have to live in this world, avoid all bad things, bad habits, and take only whatever is good. And once you know it is very good for you, then you should have tremendous willpower. Unless you have tremendous willpower, you will not be able to practice. There are many things good we know, it is very good, but we don't have enough capacity to put into practice. So we decide that we should do this, and then we take many times oath we take on the birthday, New Year. In New Year I will do this thing, this thing. We can do only for 1 week or 10 days, and again we forget our routine. So here, if we know that getting up early in the morning is good, then we should make it a habit that I must get up at 5 o'clock at any cost. And to get up 5 o'clock, mind will say no. Mind will say you are tired, take little more rest. But you are the master of the mind. You are not the slave of the mind. You should tell your mind, no, I will get up 5 o'clock. Don't listen to your mind. Use your willpower, and whatever is good, try to take in your life. Then you will be physically, mentally, spiritually healthy. And when we have such type of society, then what problems we see today, those problems will not be there. Our education should make us good human being, means men and women, men of character. Vivekananda said we want character building education, man making education, nation building education. So if we have to build nation, you have to build man. The Dharmadhikari yesterday he came to our mutt. He delivered a lecture. He was a officer. He was selected as IAS. He was the administrative officer. But then he was absolutely pure. He was never corrupted. And because he was not corrupt, and in that system there was a lot of corruption, he left that job and started Chanakya Mandal, where he is educating boys and girls, those who are preparing for UPSC and MPSC exams, and inculcating this Swamiji's ideas, how we should make our nation great. Today you see so much of bhrashtachar, so much of corruption, because we are not able to create real men and women of character, and therefore there is no morality, there is no ethics, and therefore we exploit people, whereas we have to learn how to serve the people, those who need our help. Swami Vivekananda said, they alone live who live for others, the rest are more dead than alive. जो दूसरों के लिए जीता है वही जीता है. इसलिए we have to work like this. But to work also we should have capacity and work for the nation. Don't always think of yourself. If we are always selfish, we cannot do anything. You see, Satya Lakshmi Madam, she got inspiration from Swamiji. She read a book, What Religion Is, Swami Vivekananda's book. And Swamiji said, work unto death. I am with you. When I am gone, my spirit will work with you. So we have to keep on working, but not for our selfish purpose, for the good of the society. When we think of others, then automatically our strength will increase. It does not mean that you have to sacrifice anything. You can enjoy your life, but along with that you can help others also. ग्राम ग्राम अब निकल पड़ो तुम लेकर स्वामी जी के पताका, परहित में जो प्राण गवाता वही अमर हो जाता. जय विवेकानंद हमारे, जय हो भारत माता. मन में साहस, बाहों में शक्ति, हृदय बसाओ भारत भक्ति. भूलो नहीं तुम भारत वीर, गरीबों से खून का नाता. जय विवेकानंद हमारे, जय हो भारत माता. रोना नहीं अब सोना नहीं. रोना नहीं, particularly for girls. Any problem, simply they start weeping. But we have to be like a Jhansi Rani. Our women, how brave they were. Even Miss Margaret Noble, she was in London. She was the headmistress of school. She started school. When she came in Swami Vivekananda's contact, she said, Swamiji, what can I do? She became Swami Vivekananda's disciple. Swamiji said, you come to India, because our girls are not getting education. In India, we need women like you, who are highly educated, intelligent, brilliant and hardworking. Why don't you come to our country and educate our girls? She came to India. Swamiji has given name Bhagini Nivedita, and whole life she worked for India, development of the Indian women. She has written many books on Indian culture. And even she took part in India's freedom movement. She was the lady who inspired Arvinda and all other people. So you see, one lady, dynamic, energetic, pure, she could do so much work, inspired by Swami Vivekananda's ideology. So here we also must learn something. Our life is not only for ourselves, but it is meant for others. Paropakaraya punyaya. Whatever is paropakara, helping others, that is punya. And harming others is papa. Papaya parapidanam. So all our great people, saints and all, they have said that we have to live for others, not only for ourselves. So रोना नहीं अब सोना नहीं, अविरत आगे बढ़ जाए सब, डर नहीं है किसी शक्ति का, जब स्वामी जी हमारे नेता, जय विवेकानंद हमारे, जय हो भारत माता. So we don't have to be afraid of anything. When the Vivekananda is behind us, he is our leader. स्वामी जी हमारे सरदार, हम उनके सिरदार. कदम कदम हम आगे बढ़ेंगे लेकर सेवा कार्य का भार. नहीं रुकेंगे, नहीं झुकेंगे, नहीं स्वीकार्य हार. कदम कदम हम आगे बढ़ेंगे लेकर सेवा कार्य का भार. So Swami Vivekananda is commander. We are his soldier. And he is the ideal for youth. His birthday 12 January is announced as National Youth Day. His ideas are very practical, particularly for the younger generation. He said strength is life and weakness is death. So there is tremendous power within each one of us. Only thing we do not realize. We say I am weak, I am hopeless, I cannot do anything. That we have to give up. Swami Vivekananda said all power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in that and do not believe that you are weak. So there is infinite power within us. But only thing is we are not aware of that energy. That is what we call Atma Shakti. So that infinite power is hidden within us. But we are not able to awaken that power. So when we lead a disciplined life, when you lead a good life, when you lead a moral life, then power within us will automatically manifest. And here nobody will come to help you. You have to help yourself. You are the creator of your own destiny. Swamiji said, even Gita says, Uddharet Atmanatmanam Natmanam Avasadayet. Atmaiva Atmana Bandhu Atmaiva Puratmana. You are your own friend and you are your own enemy. God has given you freedom. There are 84 lakh species and among that there is human being. Now you say human being alone can progress. All animals and birds and other species, they have no freedom. They are totally controlled by nature. But here we have freedom. If we want to become good, we can become good. Or if we want to become bad, we can be bad also. But this opportunity has given to us because God has given us human body. And in this human body alone we can develop ourselves. We can become Swami Vivekananda. There was a Ratnakar. He was a robber. He was a dacoit, murderer. And that Ratnakar became a great sage Valmiki. Now how that Ratnakar became Valmiki? Such a bad person became a great rishi. So there is hope for everybody. We cannot say that I am not fit for that. I have done many wrong things. Anyway, whatever you have done, forget about that. Now start your new life and there is infinite future before you. Forget about the past. Now start our new life from today. And in future you can become Valmiki. Because there is potential within each and every person. Only thing is we do not know how to awaken, how to manifest. And Swami Vivekananda says, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Uttisthata, Jagrata, Prapya Varan Nibodhata. This is from Kathopanishad. So we have such a wonderful leaders. India has gone down. But there are people to again lift this India. That's why Swami Vivekananda came. Then we were a slave of foreign countries for 1,000 years. We were forgetting all our great values. In that crucial time, again to make us great. Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda came, and now you see everywhere awakening has come. In every field awakening has come. We got freedom. Swami Vivekananda inspired Subhash Chandra Bose, Gandhiji, Arvinda, Nivedita, Lokmanya Tilak. Swamiji stayed with Tilak for 8 days in Pune. So all our young people, they took part in freedom movement, and we achieved freedom. So therefore we have got Swarajya. Now we have to make Surajya. Now we have to make this country great. And country can become great only people are great. Only rivers and mountain will not make country. When the children of motherland, when the children of Bharat, when they will become great, India will again become great. India will be Jagat Guru. And we have potentials. And that's why India is still surviving. Swami used to say India is eternal, India is immortal. Mera Bharat, Amar Bharat. My India, India eternal. So India has to survive because we have to give this spiritual knowledge to the entire world. India is a land of saints and sages. India is a Punya Bhumi. India is a Tirtha Kshetra. So we must always remember that we are the descendants of the sages. We have great responsibility to take their thoughts abroad and to make the whole world happy. Our mission is to spread happiness and peace throughout the world, and that India alone can do because we have those ideas and we have great personality. We say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world is my family. We don't remain only in the one family. So Vishwachi Maje Ghara, the whole world is my family. That is our concept. We are not so narrow. The whole world is our family. It is our duty to help the whole world. That's why Swami Vivekananda went to America. He found that America is sitting on the volcano. There is so much materialism. There was no peace and happiness. Swamiji went to America. He spent 4 years in America and Europe giving these ideas, spiritual ideas to them. And they said they have to accept these ideas. Otherwise, any day they will be destroyed. The whole Europe and America, they are sitting on the volcano. Any moment it may burst into pieces unless they take India's spirituality. Now, unless we have something, we cannot share with others. The first we must acquire and then we can give. In YouTube you can see Swami Sarvapriyanji, he is in New York, and his lectures are very popular. And Americans want Vedanta. There are many Swamis in America. In Boston there is Swami Tyaganandaji, he is from Bombay, and he is spreading Vedanta there. In Providence, Yogatmanji is from Nagpur. There are many Maharashtrians, many Indians. In America itself we may be having 25 centers. Even we have Moscow one center in Russia, Japan, Germany, Singapore, Malaysia. Everywhere there is lot of demand for this Vedanta and Indian thoughts because it is universal. It is not only one race. It is not for only Hindus, but it is for all human beings. So we have to take these wonderful ideas. First we have to study them thoroughly. We have to assimilate and then we have to spread. That is the way that Swamiji has given to us. So we can also become great. Abdul Kalamji, you see, he became a scientist. He could have gone to America and earned a lot of dollars. But he said, no, I want to make my country great. And he has dedicated his life for India. And we have missiles, we say missile man. So there are such people who lived in India. Even Sardar Patel, Gandhiji, Lokmanya Tilak, Subhash Chandra Bose, they all went to America and Europe. They become wakil and barrister. But then they do not settle down there. They came to India back. They served their motherland and ultimately we got freedom. So therefore go abroad, take science and technology, work there, but don't forget your motherland. Come back and serve your country. That is the way that, and even if you are there, remaining there also you can help your country. But don't condemn. Oh, India is like that. You say, I don't want to go to India. How I am very happy here. So never condemn your motherland. because our motherland has given us wonderful things, and that's why we are still surviving. So now maybe little downfall has come, but again there is opportunity to rise up, and certainly India is going to be the center of the world. Swami Vivekananda said, this time India will be the world power. So his words, no more India will go down. There is no power in the world to suppress the India. That was Swami Vivekananda's words. So we have a very bright future. But to bring that bright future, younger generation should develop their life. And they should take Swamiji's message and build their life, build India, and go abroad and spread his wonderful ideas. So I think little bit whatever I knew, I try to share with you. I am grateful to Madam Satya Lakshmi. There are many Lakshmis. So there is Mahalakshmi, there is Raja Lakshmi, there is Gruha Lakshmi, but she is Satya Lakshmi. Okay, first is Satya. Satyameva Jayate. When there is truth, when you speak truth, then Lakshmi will automatically come. Money will come. But when you practice certain moral values, and Gandhiji said, truth is my God. Truth and non-violence he taught us. So here, when we practice such great values, then automatically money will come, knowledge will come, everything will come. So first we have to develop our life. And truth has very important role to play. Because our symbol, there is written Satyameva Jayate. You see 4 lions, and what is below Satyameva Jayate. That is our motto. And even Swami Vivekananda said, truth, purity and unselfishness. Wherever these 3 things are there, there is no power in the world to crush the possessor thereof. Wherever there is truth, purity and unselfishness. These are 3 great values, and we have to put into practice, then we alone can stand before world. Nobody can do any harm to us. These are all great virtues, and we have to develop it. And you have got such a madam, Satya Lakshmi. She was in Hyderabad, I also was in Hyderabad, and she there read Swami Vivekananda and developed that spirit. And therefore today now she is leading younger generation here. So I again, thanks to all these people, those who have think of inviting me here to share my thoughts with you. Thank you very much. Namaskar.